And we're going to sing number 414 in your blue hymnal, 414 for our communion song. And before we do, I'd like to add an appendix to what Dad was saying regarding church membership, coming from what Jesus says in Luke 14, 28 and 29. Suppose one of you wants to build a tower, won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it? For if you lay the foundation and are not able to finish it, everyone who sees it will ridicule you. Principle being, count the cost in whatever. I mean, specifically in following Christ. But when we're talking about covenanting together as a church body, that applies here as well. So when we're looking through all the principles that we just heard, bear in mind that you've got to count the cost. What does church membership mean? If you're going to make a covenant with somebody, what does Jesus say? Let your yes be yes, your no be no. It's Christian to keep your word. So as relationships get more distant, the jurisdictions get broader, the bind's not quite as close, right? You get married, you don't get to be done with that, right? There are extremely limited cases where divorce is even permissible and God says he hates it, okay? So that's marriage. Church, okay, it's a little less. You don't have to stay at the same church the rest of your life. The Bible doesn't say that. But there is still, you see the analogy of the body in marriage. The two shall become one flesh. You see the analogy of the body in the church. We're all members of one body. Okay, so if we don't have this idea of I'm the arm and you're the ear and she's the nose and he's the eye and we need each other, if we're missing that perspective, then we're going to have just kind of this, well, we never really grow together. We just kind of hang out for a while and then we leave and find a different place. That's not what we're called to. We can't bear each other's burdens. We can't sharpen each other. We can't grow together unless we're really committed to where you know and I know I'm not going anywhere. I mean, if God calls me elsewhere, then I'm going elsewhere. But until then, I'm not leaving because I don't like your hair or I don't like what you made for lunch or I don't like the way you talk or whatever. Or even your doctrinal distinctives. You're more Presbyterian than I am. You're premillennial and I'm postmillennial. Whatever. I'm not going anywhere. You're my brothers and sisters. I'm committed to this. We're a body. So count the cost before jumping into something like that, because we see it over and over where there's membership and then these people just kind of fade away. If you're going to leave biblically. Otherwise, don't leave. Keep the covenant, be a body together, and then if God calls you elsewhere, then terminate that local body relationship in a godly, resolved way where there's clarity, there's communication, and we can pray our blessing on you and send you forth in the grace of God. Amen. That's how it's supposed to work. As a body. We're in this together. We're soldiers on a battlefield. You don't just go MIA. If the general is sending you elsewhere, then let's have a meeting and bless you and send you forth. Otherwise, let's stick together so we can grow into the image of Christ and really work through stuff.
Add two more things. That is Hebrews 10:24.